I'm joined now by the head coach of the UCCS softball team, Scott Peterson. Coach Peterson, can I get your thoughts after a doubleheader sweep today, which completes the 4-game series sweep against Colorado Christian?
MJ, in this league, I've been doing this a long time. Beating anybody 4 times is really, really tough. I mean, that's not a bad club over there with Colorado Christian. To beat anybody 4 times, it's really, really tough. So total hats off to our team, especially in this last game, being down 7-0 in the first inning, being able to come back. I think it just showed, great integrity on their part to come back and get that win against, a team that scored a lot of runs in the first inning. So it's exciting. It's exciting to get that.
Did you expect the game to result in the way that it did with a 16-8 victory for the Mountain Lions after trailing 7-0 in the first inning?
Well, the wind was blowing out. When you get to the 4th game, all the pitchers are a little bit tired, a little bit worn out. So I knew it wasn't going to stay 7-0. I thought maybe we'd get it a little bit close, maybe 7-4, 7-5, and then sort of chip away. But with the wind blowing out in the 4th game, anything can happen. We saw a 19-18 game a couple of weeks ago with Fort Lewis and Adams. So anything can happen in the 4th game, and we definitely saw that today.
Well, and leading the way here in game number 2 was Emily Jennings, who had 4 hits. She went 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs and 2 runs scored. How big was Jennings here in game number 2?
She's in the cleanup spot, and that's her job. Her job is to clean up, and that's what she did. She thrives for that spot. That's where she wants to be. She's a huge fan of baseball. She knows the history of the game. She knows what that 4 spot means, and she puts a lot of pressure on herself. So she stepped up and makes life a little bit easier for Danny and everybody else. So it was great for her to step up like that.
How about in game number 1, the 2nd inning? The Mountain Lions had 2 grand slams. Have you ever seen 2 grand slams in 1 inning by the same team?
Never. At any level, I've never seen 2. Even in the pros, I don't think I've seen 2 grand slams in 1 inning. So that is something. And I don't know if that's the lead of the story or not, but I've never seen, even in the pros, when you get like the Astros playing the Yankees or something like that, you just don't see it. I mean, plus you got to get runners on. You got to get runners on that many times. It's just unheard of. But the kid left the ball up a couple of times, and we just put a couple of bats on it, So I know that was pretty deflating for them. That's tough, but they still battled. But I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, after the sweep here this weekend, Coach, the Mountain Lions right now with a record of 16 wins overall, 17 wins, 9 losses, 13-6 in the RMAC. You've won 7 in a row. You won 13 out of 14 games. What are your thoughts right now on the current standings? You're currently in 3rd place in the RMAC, trailing Metro State and CSU Pueblo. How do you feel right now about the current standings?
Well, it's great. I mean, it's nice to be here, but we're more concerned about the standings at the end of the season. I think we talked about that yesterday. At the end of the season, that's where we want to be. Yeah, right now we're up at the top, but with 4 games every weekend, and everybody's playing 4 games, things can change in a hurry. So we got to keep battling and keep trying to get wins. We're going to see another tough road trip this weekend, but we like where we're at right now. But anything can happen any weekend, especially with 4 games. I mean, it's really tough playing 4 games. So we're just going to come out and get prepared for this weekend. We'll start looking at Metro and Highland stats tonight and get prepared for them next weekend.
And so right now, how do you feel about that matchup or those matchups? You have a pod series in New Mexico against New Mexico Highlands and Metro State. What are your current thoughts on those teams?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Metro's hitting the ball pretty well, too. I think they're definitely squaring some balls up, and they can hit, and they've got good leadership with Aubrey Mall, and Andy does a really nice job coaching them. Highlands I really don't know much about. That's a team they have a lot of kids that we just don't know. I know they've hit a lot of home runs. I don't know how good their defense is. I've heard some things about their defense, but hey, we got to just go out and get the games that we can. It's going to come down to what we do. If we don't play well, then they're going to beat us, and if we play the way we think we can, then I think we're going to be just fine.
Well, good luck next weekend, Coach, and congratulations on the 4-game sweep and
Thanks,
the doubleheader sweep today.
We truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You bet.